Wow, are you guys having as much fun as we are? I'm sure you are. The tweets are coming in thick and fast. Welcome back to JKLIVE here at Citizen Television. Dr. David Wachira, what an inspiration. 35 years old, 24 years in America, still speaks fluent wherever he comes from in Mukurino. But I tell you, what a great soul. What a great soul. By the way, do you know Senator Ladama Olekina?
Yes. Yeah, very well.
He says you guys are from Texas. He knows this.
Yeah.
And he says your wife Cecilia is a great photographer.
She really is. She really is.
Look at this.
Yeah, no, she is. She's very modest, but she's. You know, I was telling you earlier, she's photographed the last 4 U.S. presidents, so including Trump, unfortunately.
Photographed
but
now.
you know, at events, at the inauguration, and at personal events.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So and did quite a number of the Premier League teams, mainly Manchester United. And personal event with the Pope. So it's
we are not worthy.
Yeah.
She should be on this bench.
Yeah.
Well, she'll be coming in a little short while, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ladama says a big hello. Says your dad's a cowboy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Nice. We love country music here, by the way. Do you guys love country music?
Yes, I don't. My sister and Cecilia are indoctrinated.
Okay.
I'm not as dogmatic as I tolerate it.
You tolerate. That's good enough.
I can hum a few tunes.
All right. Someone on Twitter saying David has an interesting story where he was confused for a waiter by government officials.
Yes.
That's grown Gambino saying this.
Yes. Yeah. So I had a meeting that I was hosting, and I show up to the meeting promptly, and there's a tea stash at the end, and I'm making a cup of tea, and the government official walked in, and they say atamin tengeneze chai, so I give him the one that I have, and the next one says mina takamilo, give him that one. Then I go back and I make my own, and I'm looking to see anyone else, and then I go and I sit down, and they are just flabbergasted, completely at a loss. And then after the meeting they say, we need more people like you, that way we know what's going on, and they will push our endeavors. And I was thinking to myself, that's quite different from expectation, because you see someone, or you see a Mukurino, and you assume you're Nwedi Wanyama. That's as far as they can go, right? Or they're serving you as Kegosho,
yeah,
right?
You're gonna sing for us.
Or you see your watchman at the gate, and you don't care about his humanness and aspect, and you put people in these boxes, which is really unfortunate.
I was going to ask you that, because coming from Texas and all the racism that you experienced, and then you come to Kenya and this ridiculous, stupid tribalism and negative ethnicity we have. Does that bother you?
Extremely. Largely because I find it's, as I was telling you earlier, I find that people in leadership often take advantage of this, and the reason why they take advantage of it is because there are not a lot of opportunities, particularly for young people. Jobs are not as many, unemployment is rampant among the youth sector, and so when times of elections come, you just have a few of our leaders who will, throw money left and right here and there, and and pit us against each other. And we go uprooting railroads, burning shops, and then after everything comes down, we're like, oh, aya, Peter, pole,
and life goes on.
And life goes on.
Yeah.
And we repeat the same cycle. My business partner is someone from a tribe where technically we are supposed not to be friends, but I see him as a human being, he sees me as a human being. We're Kenyans at the end of the day, and we saw an opportunity, and we said, hey, why don't we partner together? And it has gone well. So it's a company called WirePay, which we did that. But yeah, I mean, you'll find this issues problematic.
Tell me something. What's it going to take? Is it going to take your generation to turn things around? Because 75% of Kenyan youth or African youth are 18 to 35, right? Your age, your group. Is that what it's going to take, a generational shift?
I think there will be a generational shift. There has to be. Right? The status quo can't continue. So there has to be that generational shift. And not only that, I see it within my peers that they're tired. They're tired of the way things are. They're tired of one being pitted against each other. They're tired of the lack of opportunities. They're tired of being told you shouldn't be on this side of the tracks because of your Kikuyu or your Kamba or your Luo. They're tired of that. And when you come into a common place like Nairobi, you see everybody is engaged. It doesn't really matter where you come from or what tribe you are. We're Kenyans at the end of the day. And you're seeing that change. Before globalization and people started moving around, we could say, Kikuyus tended to stay in Central, right? Or Maasai are in this place. But now it's not so much. We are intermingled, and we should be. and we can better the country together. And I think once we put, as Jesus says, those weights that so easily entangle us, then we can run the race set before us and complete it well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tell me something. When I land at JKIA, there's no better feeling. I love landing back home. Yeah. It's like, this is home.
Yeah.
When you land, do you feel like a Mukurino as opposed to when you land in what, Dallas or Reagan or in DC?
It's interesting. So, I always say you have to pick your battles, right? If I was to just carry a rotten chip on my shoulder every single time someone put me in a bracket because I was a Mukurino, I would essentially not get anything done. And so there are a lot of stereotypes. They meet me at the airport the moment I come in. Where Mukurino umetoka wapi, unaenda wapi? Hata nyinyi mnaendanga? Those type of questions, right?
Are you serious?
Right?
And they're asking innocently or just naively or stupidly.
Yeah.
Hata nyinyi mnaendaga?
Yeah. Including the person who's holding
the plaque
that says Dr. Wachira. I'm like, that's me. Oh, sikuwa nikifikia ni wewe. And then he goes, and then I go, why? And then I say, because I'm young, and because I know what he means, but like, it's because I'm young. Yeah. And then he goes, no, not quite, but and because I know what you mean, and I use it as an opportunity to change minds. Right? You have to change minds and show people that we're human beings. We can amount to be anything if given the opportunities, whether youth or otherwise. And if we can give people the opportunities, they can succeed. And if they succeed, we succeed as a country.
Speaking of giving people opportunities, you're doing that to a lot of the youth.
Yes.
You started doing that.
Yeah.
Tell us about.
So, after I finished school, my dad told me, you have attained a measure of success as defined by human beings. But that is not the end of the road. Success is actually, for us, the way we measure it in our family is by what you do for others. Right? And you've been put on a stepping stool, so now what are you going to do? And he said, if you think you've been brought into this country so you could get a job somewhere in Ohio, you and your family of 4, make ends meet and be jolly and merry, then Dad said you've missed the purpose of life. The opportunities you were given are not yours. They're your people's, they're your country's, right? And you have to give back. And that was instilled and ingrained in us. And so I purpose to live that life. My family has, my friends have. I've partnered with friends who do that. And so we give back, and we give back wholeheartedly, not because we feel good about it or so that we can show, but because it's the right thing to do. And you create a ripple effect. You touch someone, you change that person's life, they will change someone else's life, and the ripple effect will just be massive. So we have quite a number of youth programs that we support. An organization that my good friend Fred Ndavi started, who's from Uko Kambani, someone else that we are told we shouldn't be hanging out with because I'm from Central. But he started a lovely NGO called Inspire Spaces in 2013. We started with 10 students. We now have 180 students on scholarship. In 2017, I went to a maombolezi of a young Kenyan in Dallas. 21, lost his life due to drinking and driving, and we thought to ourselves, then my sister was like, people perish sometimes from just lack of knowing, and if we could create mentorship opportunities where they can interact with each other, then show people that, look, you don't need to go to alcohol and drugs just to have a good time. You can have a good time and be merry, right, and actually remember what it is that you are being merry about, as opposed to saying, waking up in the morning, it's like, oh, that was a great party, but I don't remember. Right? And so, we started the Youth Engagement Society, and so that one we empower students, we engage and inspire and connect them with leaders and mentors like yourself. That's how I met the senator. I invited him to the 2nd annual Kenya Youth Summit, which we had at Strathmore, and I said, look, come and speak to these young people. Right. They need to see people in leadership positions, people who are doing the right thing, who are not just speaking this tribal nonsense, and impart life in them. And what I find is that you start a spark, right? Everybody has that, right? The internal combustion engine is there. They just need that spark, right? And then they can go far.
35 years old. How did you learn that spark, man? I mean, goodness. By the way, I had never heard of you. I'm telling you the truth here. It was my boss, Wachira Waroro.
Yes.
Says, I want you to meet my namesake. We call him Coach.
Yes.
Wachira.
Yes.
So that's how I learned about you.
Yeah.
And now I read about you, and it's like, my goodness. You're 35. Yeah. Inspiring a whole generation. How do people get in touch with you?
Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm on all the social platforms. If I have the capacity to help, I always help. I try to reply to just about every single message that's sent to me.
Yeah.
Or at
You don't
least
get tired of that?
my
You don't get tired of people
does.
telling you, oh, I need a job. Oh, I just finished high school. I haven't worked in 4 years.
So we get a lot of that. But what I do is, I can't provide a job for everyone. On top of it, even when someone tells me they need a job and I've never met them, I can't put my name on the line. I'll be like, hey, Jeff, hire Frank. And I don't know Frank. You don't know Frank.
Correct.
To come steal from you. Then you're like, David, those people you're sending me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we do is, once they get in touch with us, we'll link them up with opportunities. We have programs, training programs that we have partnered with other organizations to do. So anything that we can do to help. So it's like, you talk to a lot of people who are looking for internships, for example. I talked to a young man who was looking for an internship in IT. And I said, look, I don't have an internship to give you, but look, here are the resources that I have gathered from IT. Why don't you read and see what you can find? And so that's what we try to do. We always try to give people information.
Yeah. How often do you go back to Nyahururu?
Quite a good bit. So I haven't been. I haven't gone this time. My aunt still lives there. My grandparents were buried there. So we go quite a bit. We have a farm there, a small farm by Kenyan standards.
So they're probably watching you right now in Nyahururu.
Yeah. In a place called Muireri, right on the way to Silibwe. Yeah.
I'll tell you how old I am. Nyahururu was still known as Thompson's Falls when we used to drive.
Yeah.
That's how old we are.
Yeah.
By the way, I told you I have a friend in Austin, Texas, right? His name is Kinodian Jenga. He's been there for at least about 10, 12 years or so. His mother is messaging me saying, hey, tell Dr. Wachira about your friend into Austin.
Yeah. We'll have to meet Kenodia next time we go to Austin. Yeah, to Kulenyama.
To Kulenyama.
Yeah,
I love it. In Fredericksburg. There's a place called Fredericksburg.
Yes. You don't have to even come. Yeah, so Fredericksburg, so about an hour and a half from there is our ranch, my family's ranch. So come and we'll hook you up with proper Kenyan goat. We call our ranch Kinangop Ranch because my mom is from Kinangop. So when you tell people in Dallas, you find a Kenyan, say, Dredagudi Kinagofu, they'll bring you to our place.
Kinagofu. I love this story. Yeah. Oh, man. Where have you been, man? We needed inspiration like this. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll bring Cecilia on. What do you think?
Yeah.
I agree. Photographed 4 U.S. presidents.
Yeah.
Wow. Did she do Biden?
No, because we were here for the inauguration. Yeah, it's actually the only inauguration she has missed in her professional career.
Biden?
Yeah.
Because she was here, because you all were here.
Yeah.
Hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLIVE. What a show. If you're not being inspired by Dr. Wachira, then you're in the wrong business or the wrong country. Take a break. Be back in a moment.